Here we see the Velociraptor pack making their way through the Great Divide. Led at the front by Fred, then Dagger, then Marge. However, lagging behind is Daniel. Daniel has passed out to the heat and lack of water. Fred approaches his son. He tells the pack they're going to stay here until Daniel has recovered. However, no one knows how long that will take. And already, pterosaurs start to close in. Up more northernly in the island, here we see Anne and Bert, who have decided to settle down at this small clearing. The two are getting ready to mate. Since they lost their son, they need to pass on their genes once again. They really miss their son. He was killed by a pack of Utahraptors. However, not the ones we're familiar with. And that was 10 years ago today that they lost their son to the raptors. And now it is time to mate once again. An hour later, the two have mated, and Anne is now going to start building a nest. While Bert watches in delight. Another hour has passed and Anne has begun work on her nest, and it's about ready for eggs to be put in it. But now the two lovers will wait for time to pass until Anne is ready to lay her eggs. Christopher's almost ready to make his move until something gets in his way. However, it would seem others have different ideas for the duel, such as Christopher, who's on the hunt. Just like that, almost instantly, Greyfang has killed Anne. Bert is outraged, having just about to lay her eggs. Bert is striking in anger. Unable to win this fight, Bert decides it's better to just leave. Leaving Greyfang with Anne. About an hour later, Christopher starts to come in. He's been forced to to scavenge. However, Greyfang is not happy about this. Not wanting to risk injury, Christopher backs off. It seems now Anne and Bert will never have another child together, ever again. About 10 miles away, here we see Mallet, who's grazing on some of the nearby foliage. She's quite content eating these small plants. However, near the end of this ledge, she sees food that is much more suitable for her appetite. While she's grazing, she forgets her footing and slowly slips. This may have been a deadly mistake. She has sprained her ankle and cannot get up. Now she must wait for it to heal. However, there is rustling in the bushes. A large female Proceratosaurus approaches, seeing her as a vulnerable target. Mallet hears her and quickly rises, stumbling on her feet. She can hardly stand. She rises to attention, leaning on the side of the cliff for support. The Proceratosaurus knows her situation and decides to wait it out, as he knows he'll win in the end. Stoneback and Buck are getting closer and closer to the noise Stoneback heard. They're about a mile away, but this noise is very loud, as if something's trying to project it, trying to lure something in. Stoneback is still pushing forward, but Buck is lagging behind, and a predator takes advantage of this. Like a flash from within the bushes, the predator rises. A large adult male Caprasuchus has jumped on Buck and is ripping him apart. But Stoneback hears Buck's calls. The Caprasuchus's ribs have been broken, and he sits there, bleeding to death from his wounds. Stoneback goes to check Buck. Buck seems to be very badly wounded, but not dead. They'll have to stop to recover. Stoneback drags him to the shelter so they can wait for his wounds to heal. However, they don't know how long that will take. About an hour later, The sound they were following has completely disappeared. They may never find it now. And now, they are lost. Here we see Saturn, Jupiter, and Neptune grazing near the northern rainforest, which was burnt down a couple episodes ago. Seeing as Hercules is gone, Jupiter, the Chasmosaurus, is acting as the leader. He's been a leader in the past, but not of this group. He was once the leader of the south side Ceratopsian herd. He's actually known Zeus and helped to raise Zeus and Hades. He's very old. However, Neptune and Saturn have been on the north side their whole lives and have never been to the south. Whereas Jupiter has travelled to most parts of this island. And that makes him very wise in Ceratopsian standards. Jupiter is devising a plan of where to look for Hercules and for Mercury. They're communicating to each other. Their plan is almost done. They'll go through the whole of the burned down forest until they find their friends. If that fails, then they'll give up. However, as we witnessed earlier, not all plans go well. Saturn and Neptune run off, leaving Jupiter behind. To fight Smokey. Jupiter tries to run off, but Smokey tackles him to the ground. Jupiter lays there, with his jugular ripped, watching the creature that killed him, watching Smokey. Just like that, his heart stops, and Jupiter dies. And Smokey takes what was once a loved animal by many and eats him as his next meal.